Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello everyone, this is Abdulrahman Ramadan, new video. Let's go. Today's video is going to be entirely in English. This way we work on our listening skills so as get introduced to new vocabulary. Let's get started. Today's video is extremely important for parents. We will talk about how to teach your kid a second language. And by saying a second language here, it doesn't really have to be English. Yes, English is very important, so as other languages. It all depends on what's the point behind learning or teaching this language. There's no doubt that globalization forces everyone to communicate and cooperate in so many different ways, in so many different languages, in so many different businesses. That's why it's really important to have a second language on you or your kid. In this video we will go over 5 different points on how to teach your kid a second language. And at the end of the video we will go over the 5 most important languages in the world for the 21st century. Key point number 1. Try to create a positive learning environment and start as early as possible. It's very important to surround your kid with a positive environment, and that can happen with so many different ways, such as if you yourself speak a second language, speak it around them all the time. Or if you have a family member speaks the language you want your kid to learn, ask them to speak it around them. This way they listen to it more, so they will repeat it even. But how early are we talking about here? Honestly, I won't exaggerate if I said start as early as they are infants. Kids at a young age, they always rely on listening skill and watching skill. So if they listen to this language you want to teach them, like the earlier the better. Key point number 2. Be very patient and empathetic. If your kid struggles or have a hard time learning about this language you want to teach him, try to take some time and be very patient and try to understand why is the kid is struggling with this new language. Take some time off, go for some playtime or take a break. Also take some time and work really hard on what makes your kid struggle with this language. Key point number 3, and I really consider it one of the most important points out of the 5. Praise your kid for any progress they're making. Praising the kid and encouraging them makes huge difference with kids. If they get to know about the colors, animals, or even hold a simple conversation, try to praise them, tell them, great job, I'm so proud of you, and reward them if possible. Buy them a candy or a toy or whatever gonna make them happy. Praising your kid and encouraging them makes huge difference in this. Key point number 4. Take advantage of all the technology resources out there. As I mentioned before, and I will always say, it's 2018 and we have reached all this sort of technologies we are witnessing in today's life. So you can imagine what life is going to be by 2050. Taking advantage of the technology these days, it will make your life a lot easier. There are a lot of different resources for you as parents. It will help you a lot on how to teach your kid a second language. You have to take advantage of those kind of resources. Download apps or games, involve the second language you want your kid to learn. Try to make it a fun environment for the kid to learn, because they found out that kids, they learn better when they're having fun. So having fun when learning makes a huge difference. So let's make it fun. Key point number 5. If you don't really have time for all this, which is very, very poor excuse because we all have to have time to spend with our kids, so you can seek outside resources such as private tutor or private teacher or a private language classes. You can enroll your kid into one of those. Try to seek first for a native speaker of that language you want to teach your kid, and if you can't, so try for your second best bet for a professional teacher to teach your kid the proper way how to speak and write and read this language you want to teach them, and that should help a lot. And as I mentioned before, the earlier you start, the better results you will get at the end. And now it's time to know about the 5 most important languages in the world for the 21st century. First language, English. As we have 375 million people are natives, they speak English as their first language. And we have 1.5 billion people around the globe speak English as their second language. Second language, Chinese. 982 million native speakers and 1 billion people speak Chinese as a second language. Third, Spanish. 330 million people speak Spanish as their native original language, and 420 people speak Spanish as their second language. Fourth, Japanese. 126 million native speakers and 1 million people speak Japanese around the globe as a second language. Fifth, German. As of 105 million people speak German as their native first language, and around 80 million people speak German as the second language. There are 7,000 different languages around the globe, but do we really use them all? I don't think so. We only use 23 languages out of all of these. So choose the best language that fits your life, would fit your future, so as you can. I do my best to mention the 5 most important languages in the 21st century, and who knows, maybe those kind of statistics will change by time. But the one has no doubt for sure that having a second language would help a lot future-wise. It has been a while since I actually made a video entirely in English. I hope you liked it. I enjoyed myself, and you learned something new today about how to teach your kid a second language. I'm not saying that to push for English. English doesn't need me to push for it. English is very important. Global wise, the whole entire globe, they know how important English is. However, I've tried my best, and thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you next one. Peace.